The New York Times, a former newspaper, runs a story this morning called A History of Steve King's Racist Remarks. I want to make this clear first. I'm not defending Steve King. I believe Steve King has crossed a line in his own thinking. Not about, I don't know what he said to the Times. I don't know if he was misquoted. I don't know if he was misquoted out of context. I'm talking about my impression of Steve King. I think he started out as a devoted to the cause of securing the border. And I think he has moved into Steve Bannon territory with this idea of, cultures invading us and foreign cultures invading us. And I think he's made a mistake. And I will get to what I think that mistake is later. So I'm not defending Steve King. I just want to read portions of this. This is a history of Steve King's racist remarks in the New York Times. And some of them that I'm not going to read, some of them did strike me as kind of suspect. But here are the ones I want to highlight. Mr. King in the Iowa State Senate files a bill requiring schools teach that the United States is the unchallenged greatest nation in the world and that it has derived its strength from Christianity, free enterprise, capitalism, and Western civilization. Aside from the greatest nation in the world, which obviously is an opinion, all of that is true. That's not a racist statement. Mr. King is the chief sponsor of a law making English the official language of Iowa. Most countries have a central language. We have a problem because all those languages come from countries that they're named after. English is called English because it comes from England. French is called French because it comes from France. We are an English-speaking country that is not a racist. I don't particularly care whether this is an English-speaking country. I think we could have multi-languages, but it's not a racist comment. Mr. King defends a tweet that we're watching as Western civilization is shrinking in the face of the massive epic migration that is pouring into Europe. King has been a big supporter of guys like Geert Wilders who attack the massive Muslim immigration into Europe, which has caused massive problems. Geert Wilders, remember, is not an American. He is not responsible to American values. He's Dutch. He's trying to protect his country from what he thinks is destroying its culture. King has supported him. Again, Islam is not a race. Islam is a philosophy. You can criticize it. You can attack it. You can dislike it. Not the people, but you can dislike the philosophy. But here's the one that really gets to me, where he says, King said to the Washington Post, this is recorded by the Times as a racist statement, the idea of multiculturalism, that every culture is equal, that's not objectively true. We've been fed that information for the past 25 years, and we're not going to become a greater nation if we continue to do that. That is the literal truth. Multiculturalism is an implausible philosophy. It cannot be that cultures that enslave people, that cultures that treat women like trash, that those cultures are equal to cultures that do not. That cannot be. To conflate ideas and cultures is to strip us of our power to think, to strip us of our power to criticize what is wrong and decide good from bad. I mean, that's what it is. Here is where King has gone wrong, and here is where the New York Times and the rest of the left is lying, okay? Christianity has a massive hand in shaping Western culture. There is no way around that, and it had a massive hand of shaping the minds of the men who wrote the Declaration and the Constitution. Massive power. There's no way that after thousands of years of Christianity, even if you became a deist, that you would not be shaped by Christianity. With this culture, everything about us is shaped by Christianity. And those men who wrote those wonderful documents, who wrote the Constitution, who wrote the Declaration, were white men. What's great about what they wrote is that you don't have to be a white man to benefit from the things they created, right? Christianity, remember, in Christ there is no Jew or Greek, there's no white or black, there's not even male or female. In Christ, everybody is equal. And again, if all men are created equal, that includes everybody. What these white Christian men created was a philosophy that could include everybody. That's why I'm always saying we should thank Christian white men. We shouldn't be picking on them. We should say, hey, thank you very much for creating this wonderful thing that we all can share in. What you can't say, though, what you cannot say is that philosophy, that inclusive philosophy, that magnificent philosophy, is destroyed by letting other people in. That's why it's there. That's where King has gone wrong. That's where I think Steve Bannon makes a mistake. That's where I think Geert Wilders may have crossed the line. I heard Geert Wilders speak. He has a lot of interesting things to say about Islam, but he wants to shut down mosques. And when you say that in America, it just doesn't fly because we allow all religions to be free.